What is it with game developers and big AAA game companies releasing DLC for games before the games even come out? Like, I can't be the only one who thinks this is ridiculous. Like, for years now, we've had to put up with this. Like, it used to be really casual, like, you could, pre-order the game and get, like, a special bonus for pre-ordering it, whatever. That was perfectly fine. Nobody had a problem with that. It was fun to see games advertised on TV. Like, back in the day, I remember seeing, if you pre-ordered Metro 2033 or Metro Last Light, something like that, you got an automatic machine gun as a pre-order bonus from GameStop. Something like that. That was perfectly fine. I had no problem with pre-order bonuses because they were small, they didn't increase the cost of the game, and you got an entire game. You got exactly what you paid for. And this has been like boiling up inside. I absolutely hate the fact that the current business model is to market games that are incomplete. It is to push titles out which, if you spend $60 on them, which is about the average price of a AAA game, you spend $60 to get an entire game. That's how it's usually been for like the last 2 decades. It's been like $60 a game. $60 can get you what? 75% of a game, 80% of a game. You spend 60 hard-earned dollars on a brand spanking new AAA game. And the first thing that you'll notice, the number one thing that you'll notice as soon as you launch that game, if it's from any big name company, even small companies these days, is that there's this blatant, in-your-face, locked content that you have no access to. They sold you a game that wasn't complete, and then they demand more money out of you in order for you to be able to access the content that you've already paid for. That's the scheme. So they don't want you to have the full game when you buy it. What they want you to do is spend $60 on the game and then realize, like, oh, well, maybe I want to play the locked content, so the season pass is only $20. It's only $20 extra for, like, the rest of the game that I was supposed to get. And it's ridiculous because it's games like Assassin's Creed Origins, for instance. When that game first came out, it already had a $120 Ultimate Edition, which you could buy, which came with 2 story DLCs. Absolutely ridiculous. That's twice the price of a regular game for a little bit of story content, not to mention that in Assassin's Creed Origins, the story ended, the $60 version of the story ended, and things were never clarified, nothing ever made sense. You never learned, like, key moments in the creation of the assassins, and then you move on to the DLC, and that's where the actual story is. So you paid $60 for an incomplete game. It basically said, hey, here's a testing ground for this new formula for the game, and then they chop the ending off and charge you an extra $20 for that. Or you could spend $120 and get some useless fucking cosmetics which do nothing for you. You could get some EXP boosts which do nothing for you, because that game leveling up is so easy and takes so little time. Why would you ever need an EXP boost? Why would you need the money from the DLC either? Why would that cost you an actual extra $60? Why would that double the price of the game for shit that you're going to earn all the way up to the end of the game anyway? I don't understand that. And it happened in Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well. They did the exact same thing. And in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they did the same thing. In Ghost Recon Wildlands, the same fucking thing. They charged you a premium, then they sold the DLC separately, which contained more story. And you didn't get the full game. And they didn't finish the game just like they did with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because they introduced seasons in which more story missions were added once the initial release of the game was over, like months after. So they don't release full games anymore. They release to you half-finished products that are unstable, that have, you know, a plethora of bugs and things that just need to be fixed, need polish, and they release it so early because they're out there to grab your money, to pull you in and grab all the money that they can from you, and then they get to slow down all the creative processes and all the development and use just the smallest team they can in order to push out, like, what, one hot fix every couple months to address an issue that nobody gives a shit about. I don't think that you should be a victim to a corporate entity's greed. And if they find the most efficient way to fuck you over and take money out of your hands that you worked hard to earn, I urge you to think twice about what you're buying. Because this is bullshit, and the only way that it's going to stop is if people come together and realize that we're all being fucked over. Everything is a cash grab, no matter what it is. There's nothing that they can offer you that would be added on to the game through DLC that would be worth more than $60. They can fit every piece of the game into the game for $60, still blow sales out of the water. They profit no matter what happens. They're a business. They always profit. Hopefully someday it'll change, but I highly doubt that, because as long as there are greedy corporations that hire analysts to tell them that you're going to buy something because there's a good chance that it seems more appealing to you, it's always going to be that way, and they're always going to stuff their pockets with your hard-earned money for an incomplete game. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me whine about this. So go ahead, throw some comments down there, tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel to see some more videos of mine. I got hundreds of videos. Go ahead and check them out. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Take care.